We're going to walk through how to create a custom horse or a custom coat. We do have two horse scripts within the Tackroom. This one is using our KD horse script. So on the map, if you log into the server, you open up your map and you see any of these icons that have a black background with a white horseshoe, these are KD stables. To access these stables, you usually have to go talk to this NPC. When you walk up to him, you will get an enter, and then you just press enter, and then it will open up this menu. So some of these stables have a wagon option. For this one, we just have horse manager and breeding. I'll make another video on how to do the breeding within the script. But we're just going to go into horse manager. We're going to create a custom horse real quick. The one kind of tips that I have before getting into this is making sure your time is set to noon and your weather is set to high pressure. It definitely helps when you're in these outside locations, and this is probably one of our better locations. So to do that, we're going to get out of the stable. We're going to hit T to open up chat. /my time 12, we'll set it to noon, and then if you do my weather high pressure, all in word, that will remove the clouds, remove the fog, remove any of the weather, and it is completely clear. So we're going to go ahead and get back into our stable. We're going to go to horse manager, buy a new horse. We're going to go ahead and pick a stallion, and let's go ahead and go through some of these and pick a breed. So we do have a variety of breeds. Most of them are base game. The donkeys are not ones we can really customize, but they are in there. Dutch warm bloods, gypsy cobs, Hungarian half-breds, saddlers, plaids, foxtrotters, Morgans. We have all the base game ones. So it kind of depends on what horse you want to ride, what horses you like raising. You can pick which one you want. So give me a second. I'll pick which breed I want, and then we'll go through their coats. Okay, so we're going to settle on an American Standardbred. Then we would do left or right arrow, and this is going to vary if you are using keyboard or controller. So we can go right, and we can go through 5 different coats. So when you're looking at the coats, more so picture the blocks of color that are on them rather than the current color there is. So like this one's got a darker head, has a lighter body, and dark legs. This one is pretty much all one solid color. There is a slight facial marking with a star strip snip. And then if we go here, this one has dapples and white legs and a stripe. And then this very final one has got blue eyes. So that is another thing to kind of keep in mind. And then that larger blaze, there's maybe a little dapple on his coat. So let's go ahead and play with this one. So once you're like, okay, I want to use this coat, go ahead and press and hold C. And it's going to open up this menu. Now you have palette, coat, and buy. Palette gives you a variety of options, and this just gives you different color waves to pick from. So there's horse, and then we can go leather, and this is left or right arrow key, makeup, hair, classic, and horse leather. So you can kind of see there is a different variety of like available colors within these color waves to pick from. Most often than none, people will use either hair or horse for the body. The other ones you can use within tack, and there's another video that goes into customizing tack. And then hair, of course, is for hair. So it's kind of whatever your preference is. We do have people that make horses that are bright Barbie pink horses, but also we have a lot of people that do the realistic coats as well. So we'll go ahead and choose just the horse. So when you go down to coat, you'll see there is 5 different options. Each one has a variety of controls on how to use it. These last 2 you do need to use your mouse for. You can use your mouse on all of them. So we're just going to go through real quick and pick some colors. And you can kind of see as like I move this first one, this is the main body color of this horse. Some of them, like this one, has a very unique patterning to that specific color. But you can see as I scroll through, you can start seeing that color path changing. The next one, if I hit E, so this one, you kind of have to move around to see exactly what it's changing. Sometimes you have to make it kind of drastic. So this one is actually that nose, and in this palette there is a very fine pink. So if you like having the boopable snoots, you can actually change it to the pink. This one looks to be the color around the eyes. And then this one is the stockings. So this is if you want it to have pure black legs. If you want it to have white, then you would just leave it on white. And this one, you kind of have to mess with it. Sometimes you don't really oh, this is the hooves. So it is kind of hard because these horses are dirty in the paddock. But most of the time you can try to figure them out and get them dark or matching or however you want it to be. So give me a second so I customize this horse, and then we'll come back on how you do the next step. Okay, we're gonna settle kind of on this bluer roan dapple look, with the pink nose, the dark around the eyes and the muzzle, and then the white legs and black hooves. So then we're gonna go and just press and hold enter on the buy option. And now we're gonna name him. So we're gonna name him Stormborn Boone. So we're gonna name him. And now we've bought this horse. So now I want to go in and I want to just customize his mane and tail. So I'm going to go back out and we're going to go to manage owned horses. And we're going to go and find him. So I have a variety of horses that I've purchased from other people. So Stormborn Boone. So this is him in my stable. So I want to go ahead and hit enter. And I want to change his hair. Go to manes. And then you're going to go through the list of what different mane styles there are. I really like this mane because it's got some different colors within it. You can use the default ones by going left or right on your arrow keys, but for me I'm going to customize it, so I'm going to just press and hold C. And for this one I'm going to go into the hair palette, and we're going to kind of go through and mess with some of the colors. So I kind of like making some drastic changes on them, so it's almost too blue. And if I don't like this palette, then I can go back to a different one. So maybe I'll go to horse leather, which has some bluer tones in it. And then I can go really, really dark. Maybe add some brown into it. See, I don't really like that. So I'm going to play with this for a second, and then we'll get into the tail. Okay, so I'm kind of settling on this black with some blue highlights to it a little bit. So I'm kind of just adjusting between these different blue tones that are in, and this is actually the leather palette. So that's what I was saying of people can choose a variety of palettes to mess with if they want. So like this, if I wanted to have some brighter blues in that mane, I could go there. A little darker blue is on that. And I'm just flipping back and forth with my arrow keys to move the horse around. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and buy this. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the tail. Now when you come out, it's going to have this default mane. One way that you can fix that is go all the way back out to your horse, scroll down, back up, and then you'll see the mane that you created. So we're going to go back to change hair, tails, and then you can choose from style of tail. So I kind of like this one. It's not as full as this one. So we're going to go ahead and do C, and I'm going to go ahead and keep that on. I'm going to change it to leather, and I'm going to pretty much try to stay within those same color pathways. So see, there's a little bit of brown to it, so I need to pull my colors back a tad. Also, if it helps to remember what color you used, is kind of helpful as well. And it's just playing with the colors to get them right. You could do solid black if you really wanted to. Some people like really playing with the different colors. These ones are pretty subtle, so actually I might go back and change the tail a little bit. So we'll go back here, change this one. We're going to change to the leather palette. We're going to keep that one black. We're going to change this one to blue and keep that one black. So you can kind of see he's got the bluish black tail. That also matches. We'll play with this a little bit to get it closer to kind of his coloring. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and save that. So now you have a horse. In another video I showed how to do the custom tack options and how to customize your tack and all that. So you go watch that video so you can see how you can tack your horse up. So I'll go ahead and go in here and we're going to manage horses. Stormborn, I'm going to make him as my favorite. Over here in the horse park it's a little different. Saddling up horses, there's no pathing for your character to walk to the horse to put the saddle on. So it's a little buggy there, but if you're on map, it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and just mark him as a favorite. And then I'm going to go ahead and get out of the stable. And we'll call him out. I will have my sire horse show up with this one when I whistle. But he actually was the first one to come out. So, let me delete my Mustang. So, this is the new custom horse. So you can see he's got that blackish blue mane that I made for him. The blackish blue tail. And he's got that boopable snoot that you can Boop, very easily. And that's how you create your custom horse. So you can do this with all your horses. And then once you start getting some bloodlines going, if you watch the video that will come up next about breeding, you can breed your horses. You can get similar coats. You can get very funky coats. It's a random generated coat on the color wise, but it's very interesting to kind of see what you can get out of it. So I'll do a quick little preview of some of the coats that are possibilities. Now, of course, I've gotten rid of some of the coats that are not desirable by myself, or what I know some people would buy, but we can just go through quickly on some of my horses. So all of these ones I've purchased, and then some of these are foals that I've had. So this is a foal actually that I bred out and I got from 2 of my horses. This is another foal. That's a foal. That's a foal. So I have quite a few foals that I've bred out, and I've kept really nice ones. I've also sold quite a few too. But so like this one was a foal, so it's got that weird white speckling right along the flank. But these are some of the options that breeding comes out. So I will go more into detail on breeding in the next video. But if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and enjoy making your custom horses.